All right, crews, it's time for a new mission. We've kicked off. We're ready to go. We're going to explore the world of earthquakes. You guys already know so much about plate tectonics. Oh my goodness, you're like experts now. What happens at divergent plate boundaries, right? You know what happens at convergent plate boundaries where plates collide. Oh my goodness, so many crazy things happen at we don't call it sinking, we call it subduction zones. Yeah, we know what happens there. And then there's the wiki wow, transform boundaries. Yeah, you guys, you're experts on that, right? But now we've started studying the effects that happen at those places. We know the why. We even know what's making these plates move. There's this little thing called, convection currents. Yeah. So what happens then when these plates move? Bad stuff. And we people here at the surface, we're just powerless to do anything about it. So I'm looking out at imaginary students, pretending that each one of them are here. All right, so we already looked a bit about volcanoes and some of their effects and some of their, the explosive eruptions like that create a pyroclastic flow. Say it with me, Kaylin. Say, pyroclastic flow.
Pyroclastic.
Ah! All right, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, that's volcanoes, right? Volcanoes. We've been volcanologists, so now it's time to be seismologists. All right, so I want you to turn the page Deuce Long John Donut. Turn to page Deuce Long John Donut in your mission manuals.
Is that 210?
Very good, Kaylin. Very good.
She didn't actually get it. She's like, 210A? What am I got? 2 Deuce Long John Donut. Everybody knows. All right.
Okay, Kaylin, could you read at the top of page Deuce Long John Donut? What causes earthquakes?
Yes. If you've gone for a walk in the woods lately, maybe
walking?
you picked up a stick along the way.
Stick.
If so, did you try to bend or break it?
No.
If you've ever bent the stick slowly, you might have noticed that it changes shape but usually springs back to normal.
What a fascinating story.
If you continue to bend the stick, you can do it for only so long before it changes permanently. When this elastic limit is passed, the stick may break, as shown in figure 1. When the stick
Snaps.
you can feel vibrations in the stick.
Oh my gosh, what a fascinating story. Wait a second, Kaylin. So this is a fascinating story about going for a walk in the woods with a stick. Isn't it exciting? And just in case you didn't understand what it was we were talking about, Bob, our good friend Bob, he's given us some pictures of what it looks like to bend and break a stick. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Hello, thanks, Bob. Bob, what should we put on page 210 for the kids to understand elastic limit? Maybe like some hands and they break a stick and they're walking in the woods.
What you working on?
Okay, so you see, elastic limit. That's a word there, elastic limit. I wish that was like one of our bold terms we got to define, but it's not so much. But elastic limit's very important because you know what's happening at these plate boundaries where these rocks are being stretched and twisted and strained and stuff. Rocks are under pressure, and eventually they reach a certain point to which they have to break, right? Right before your very eyes, I'm about to wow and amaze you as I'm going to reach the elastic limit of this rubber band right here. That's right. You don't think I can do it? I can do it. I'm incredibly strong, but smell's not everything. Okay, I'm going to reach the elastic limit of this rubber band in 3, 2, drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1. Hang on a second, hang on. It's going to hurt. Even though I've had nothing to do these last several days, I know that it's gonna sting my fingers. Caitlin, it's gonna sting my fingers. Do you think I'm a coward? Do you think I'm weak?
Yep.
You better not say yeah. All right, dang them. I can do it then. Yeah, come on, Greg. Come on. Reaching the elastic limit of What is stretching so far? Did you see how far it's stretching? Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Reaching the elastic limit where it can no longer stretch and it has to break. Holy cow. Oh, right there. It's really... I did it! I'm the strongest man alive. Look at that. I reached the elastic limit of that rubber band. It couldn't even handle it. Yeah, that's right. You know what else has elastic limits? Rocks. Come with me. Look at this. Look at this big old piece of schist right here. Yeah, I got this big old piece of schist. You know I love it. Hello. You think I can reach the elastic limit of this rock, Kaylin?
Nope.
Ye of little faith. Watch this. Drum roll, please. Uh-oh. Something happened. It wasn't me, that was you.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I did it. I reached the elastic. Here, Kaylin, you get to keep this as a souvenir.
They look like noodles.
You look like noodles. Well, thanks. All right, so when rocks reach their elastic limit, that's that point to which they can no longer stretch, and they have to break. You know, this is happening all the time at the plate boundaries. That breaking will create something. You've heard of it before, and as seismologists, you study it. That's right, earthquake. We have a definition, everybody. Check it out.
Oh, gosh.
Such breaking and the movement that follows causes vibrations that move through rock or other earth materials. If they are large enough, these vibrations are felt as earthquakes.
What? What am I supposed to do? Oh,
do
I gotta do that. All right, that's a long one. That's,
Such breaking and the movement that follows causes vibrations that move through rock or other earth materials. If they are large enough, these vibrations are felt as earthquakes.
All right, so chittling. You guys don't have to worry about your mission manuals or anything like that. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing slides and everything else for you. But on page deuce, long john deuce. Ooh, that sounds like a busy Saturday morning, doesn't it? Deuce. Then you eat a long john. And then another deuce. That's what Caitlin does. All right,
Definitely
anyway.
not.
So I want you to know another thing about earthquakes, and that is the anatomy of a quake. Now, I know most people think of anatomy, they think of like dissecting a frog or something like that in the anatomy, or human anatomy or something like that, which is one of my very favorite things to explore. That sounded kind of off. Anyway, cheeky monkey. All right, anyway, now there's anatomy of earthquakes. Yeah, there's only two parts really though that I think that you need to know about earthquakes so you can live your life intelligently, because this stuff happens around the world. Even though we're not in a plate boundary here in Oklahoma, you know places that are. All those places around the Pacific plate, dagnabbit, Indo-Australian plate. All that stuff is bad. So I want you to know when they say on the news or whatever, these parts of an earthquake, you're very highly educated, as you always have been. So here are the two parts. Are you going to sleep? Rule number 7. Rule number 7 is no sleeping in this fun class. Be careful. I'll get a warning. All right, part number 1 of an earthquake, very, very important. It's where it all starts. It's where it starts, right? At the beginning, down in the deep, deep, dark, dark, deep, dark hole. Say it with me. The deep, deep, dark, dark, deep, dark hole.
Deep, dark, deep.
No! Deep, deep, dark, dark, deep, dark hole.
I can't.
All right, no, well, you'll get there. You'll get there. The deep, deep, dark, dark, deep, dark hole below ground where those rocks reach that, what's that limit called?
Elastic.
Yeah! Boom! When they reach the elastic limit, these waves, they're actually these waves that go out in all directions. That's going to be the last part of our mission here. It's called the focus. And that's this part right down here below ground. Maybe I should have chose green. Right down here below ground, it's called the focus. What's it called, Kim?
Focus.
It's called the focus, right? So focus, all right? Here's your definition for focus.
The point inside Earth where movement first occurs and energy is released is called the focus of an earthquake.
Punches it, focus. All right, anyway, that was stupid.
Why don't you say so?
All right, so the focus is where it starts. So imagine, that somewhere at a plate boundary, an earthquake occurs. Rocks have just been stretched too much. They've been squeezing, they've been pushing for maybe thousands of years, and then that focus, it can be a few miles deep. It can be like 80 miles deep or more. It depends on where it's at. If it's at a deep, dark hole, if it's at a trench, maybe at a subduction zone, then it could definitely be a deep focus earthquake. So where's the earthquake start?
Right there.
That's called the focus. That's right. Okay, so you know what that is. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Gee, I know! The focus is where the earthquake starts. All right, that's the focus. Now there's another part of an earthquake. Just two parts. The focus, and then this next part is called, maybe you've heard of this one before, the epicenter. Okay, that's epicenter, not epicenter.
Do it again.
Do it again, Daddy. Oh, Dolores. Okay. This is an epicenter. Are you still videoing?
Yes.
Cut. Wait, I sprayed all over myself. Okay, just gotta rub it out. Epicenter. That's the point on Earth's surface. What's Spidey doing? Oh, he's running away from the epicenter. He's like, sorry, there was a lot of bouncing. All right, the epicenter. That's right here. That's the point on the surface directly above the focus, and that's where the strongest shaking will occur. That's right, the strongest shaking will occur at the... You don't want to be at the epicenter of an earthquake, not an epic enter. That was pretty epic, for sure. Gotta pull up the earthquake map. This is gonna be fantastic. I know my kids are gonna do this every single day. Or as Nellie would say, every day.
Day.
All right, this is something really cool that me and Mother Cruz would pull up every single day. Or as Nellie would say, every day up in her. Don't want to step on that Snapchat TikTok machine. So this is a map of planet Earth, obviously, and these are all the earthquakes that have occurred in the world over the last day. Hey! That's not supposed to be happening. There it is. Okay, over the last day, these are the earthquakes that have happened around the world. And watch this. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on some things here. Here's the United States. Hey, what are these red lines? Okay.
Those are the plate boundaries.
Oh my gosh, Kayla, I'm so proud of you. I hadn't even taught her that yet. Okay, she just learned that from Mr. Rob. All right, those are the plate boundaries. Oh, there's that dango Indo-Australian plate. I can't stand that dude. Somebody in my class said they liked that plate. Yeah, I got angry. Sorry. Here's the Pacific Ring. I'm not going to say it.
The Ring of Fire.
Yeah, you know that. Hey, look at Oklahoma. My gosh, we had an earthquake in Oklahoma. You click on this one. A 3.6 magnitude earthquake. 14 kilometers east of Enid. What are these little dots that are on? Hey, let me try this. Watch this. This is the last 1 week. I'm going to go out to a week. Holy cow. Look at all the earthquakes that have happened around the world over the last 7 days. While everybody's staying at home, trying to be safe and practice social distancing, the tectonic plates, they're still moving. But look at all these earthquakes. And you see, like we taught, most of them have happened. This was a big one that happened in Idaho. At the plate boundaries. Oh, the Chile-Peru trench right there. Yeah, you know that one. Alaska's had a lot of earthquakes. The Philippines over here, Indonesia, Japan. Yeah, okay, so what do you think these little dots are? Something I just taught you, I just told you about. It's the point on the Earth's surface where the strongest shaking will occur. Each one of those dots, epicenters. Yeah, each one of those dots are an epicenter of an earthquake. You can pull up this map, by the way, each and every day. It's called the Usgs Earthquake Map. You see this USGS, you know the USGS. Harry Dalton worked for the USGS. But let's look at, come and go down here to Peru, Chile. All right, I'm going to zoom in. Check us out. These are all pretty small ones. Not too bad. Good thing for those people. It makes me happy whenever I see small earthquakes. But look at this one, at 4.1 off the coast of Chile. Look what it says here, the depth. 31.5 kilometers down here. The depth. What's that?
Oh, you're asking me?
Well, you know the depth? How deep the...
How deep the earthquake.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was the name of the point inside the Earth where the earthquake started. That was called the
focus.
focus. Focus on that. Yeah. So that even, look at that, tells you that earthquake, it's hard to see there, 4.1, that's the magnitude. That's how much energy was released. There's the epicenter, 8 kilometers southwest of Topakilla, Chile. Chile, is it Chile or Chile? Chile?
Chili.
No, it's Chile. Chile.
Chile.
And that's how deep it was. See, so my crew members become so well educated, they're able to look at a map like this and go, wow, those are the epicenters and how deep the earthquake was. That's the focus, right? So where does the earthquake start? The focus. What's the point on the surface above the focus where the strongest shaking will occur? The epicenter. Okay, so you know about focus and epicenter.
Spider-Man's on you.
Huh?
Spider-Man's on you.
This actually happened. There was an earthquake in Oklahoma, gosh, I guess it's been about 7 years now.
Well, actually, it was on November 8th, 2011 at 10:53 in the p.m.
So there was a 5.2 on the Richter scale. That may be something we look at later too, the Richter scale. But 5.2, it was felt by a lot of people. I'll never forget, Saturday night, the lovely Kathy and I were watching Saturday Night Live, and we felt the ground shaking and the house move a little bit. Actual headline from the Oklahoma earthquake. This is so embarrassing. Amy said, from Oklahoma, we thought our neighbor's donkey had escaped from his pen and was scratching himself on the trailer. It sounds like this has happened before. So, Amy knows about that. I know about donkeys and scratching and stuff. What if that was the earthquake scale? Instead of the Richter scale, we did the donkey scale. Yeah, like how many donkeys it felt like were scratching themselves on the trailer. That was a pretty big earthquake, you guys. That was about a 3.5 donkey. That reminds me of a story. I had a kid ask me one time, how do you get half a donkey? And I said, well, you go half-ass. All right, anyway, so I forgot about this story.
Wait, we're gonna get
You ready?
Yep.